podcast hour or half hour.
It doesn't even tell the time I've heard. I thought you had a real title.
That is our title.
We are doing a podcast, as I said before. So if you want the link, swipe up, let me know. I'll send it to you. I'll give it to Austin. He'll put it on his stuff, and we'll be good. It's awesome. Nice. It's a really good show. It's just a promo, but like the others.
I'd love to get Led Zeppelin.
We are castaways. Ahoy there, ahoy. We are castaways. We're stuck where we are, with no house, no car. Castaways, ahoy. We are castaways.
Talking to the ducks again?
Castaways. We are castaways. Ahoy there, ahoy. We are castaways. We're stuck where we are, with no house, no car. Castaways, ahoy. We are castaways.
We know which volume of
Somebody, baby.
up below.
Like I said, I'm terrible with lyrics, so I always have to like have something in front of me. Yeah.
I can sing Led Zeppelin with you, bro. I'll do it.
I'm not gonna sing in the octave that he sings.
I can't either, but
But-
we'll make it work.
Rock and roll, you got that one pretty easy.
It's a big one.
You
Okay.
poser. You don't know the lyrics
No, I know
right
lyrics,
off the top
but
of your head.
it's the different things that get. Okay, wait a minute.
Rock and roll, make the
Oh,
rock
no.
and roll.
Been a long time since I rock and roll. Dun-dun, dun-dun. Been a long time since I did this roll. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. Let me get back, let me get back, let me get back. Baby, where I come from. Go. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Yes, it has. Been a long time since the book of love. I can't count the tears of a life with no love. Carry me back, carry me back, carry me back. Baby, where I come from. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time.
Verse 3, because I don't play solo.
Been a long time since I'm rocking alone. Making the vows, it just can't work right. Open your arms, open your arms, open your arms. Baby, the love come running in, yeah. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Yeah.
I was letting you do the drum solo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff.
Up top, Mr. Holt. That was great.
Good stuff, man.
Favorite duet ever.
Oh man, that's a big.
Now, do you guys feel guilty for not voting me in the bracket?
Hey, I did vote you.
I voted
I voted
for
you.
you.
I voted you in the bracket.
I vote you in this.
You guys feel terrible.
It's all the underclassmen that haven't had you yet.
Yeah.
For
I have
real.
no idea of the power.
Exactly.
Who won that, by the way?
Miss Okamoto.
Okamoto by one vote.
Dude, he came in a
To who?
Raptors class today.
To
and
Raptor.
was
Oh, to
pissed.
Raptor.
It was so funny.
He was like, dead people voted in the election.
He like threw his mask and
He's like,
everything.
alumni voted.
It was funny.
He was hot.
Alumni voted in the election.
All right. Oh, wow, okay. So, ready to go? Ready to get started?
All right.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. You guys just heard me sing Led Zeppelin with Mr. Holt. That was pretty cool. So we got Ben Haskew,
Hello.
Creighton Belli,
What's up?
and Austin Carmichael.
Hello.
And we are here in the outdoor classroom, just a bunch of guys being dudes.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Jay chillin'.
Just chilling. Last day of high school. It's kind of windy, so if like that comes across on the mic, then that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That sucks. So yeah, I just got to sing Led Zeppelin with one of my favorite teachers, so that was awesome.
Did you know what? Honestly, I kind of thought that he would just be like, bing, 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 bing,
Yeah.
bing, bing, bing,
I-
bing, bing, bing. I totally didn't think he
definitely
played that
didn't
whole
expect
song,
it.
but
It
that
was-
was really good.
It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
That's really good. So.
His voice
Like
was
his
very surprising.
singing, bro. I was like,
not
why are you
expecting-
teaching forensics?
I know. I was like, dang.
Hiding in the band room saying, "Gentlemen, dude, go out and be somebody."
For you're really gentlemening high schoolers.
Honestly,
Why
though, I
aren't you
mean,
at a concert?
He earned the title of gentleman with that music right there,
man.
for sure.
Good stuff.
Gentleman, gentlest man.
Gentlest of men.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
I don't even know, bro.
You know, honestly,
I've got some questions.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you could go back and do one thing differently about high school, what would it be?
I'm not gonna say it on the podcast.
Whoa, what does that mean?
I think, you know what? I think I would have to say probably talk to a lot more people.
That's what
I think
I'm
because
thinking,
literally,
too.
like, I was thinking back, I'm like, I've only had like maybe about like max 3 groups of friends, and
Uh-huh.
people have like kind of intertwined with those. But like, I never went out and just went to like just go talk to people,
Yeah.
and I kind of wish I did that.
I feel that.
Yeah, like I never got out of like my comfort zone in high school because I was too scared of what would happen. So I just stuck around the band kids because they were the only ones that I really knew. And I was like, oh, they're too cool. They won't talk to me. Like, oh, I don't know. So I guess if I just like put myself out there.
Yeah, I'd probably say that, and then like, just really cliche, but just like live in the moment, you know? Like all the fun classes we had, like with like AP World and everything.
AP
all
World,
those-
AP
yeah.
Euro.
And just not take that for granted, you know? Because now I'm just like, oh, so it's open? It's like, oh, so we're done now? It's like,
That's it.
yeah. Any more questions, Austin?
That was the main one. I just thought it was interesting to think back. I would probably have to agree.
Yeah.
Just trying to get to know more people and be a little more out there, you know.
I definitely
Also
was-
work ethic. Like I feel like I'm so burnt out. I don't know if I'm gonna be ready for college by the time summer's over. Still gonna be recovering from senior year burnout, but
But I mean, especially like with me, I took like a bunch of joke classes. So like literally, like if anything hard happens, like I might be screwed.
Right.
So I don't know. But
we also went to Macintosh, so even the joke classes are probably harder than like 90% of the
Yeah.
high schools in Georgia. So
honestly, that's probably true. It's probably true. So
I think Macintosh probably was a good prep for college.
I think Macintosh was a pretty good high school.
Yeah.
I wish they told us how to do taxes, but
Yeah.
other than that, I think I think I'll be set.
Hey, I know what to do with my credit card thanks to Mr. High now.
Oh yeah.
Buy Hulu and pay your
Buy
monthly
Hulu and pay
Hulu
your
bill
monthly
with
Hulu.
your credit card, so that you're only paying $10. You can pay it back easy.
Oh man,
Got to build that credit.
that was a great class too. That's just
Yeah. So what was you guys' favorite class?
Dang, bro, favorite class.
I'll have like a top 5.
Okay.
I'll give it top 5 in no order. Sophomore math with Mr. Fenoy. Don't hate.
True.
It was an easy class. All right, we had the regular math, so he was fine. I remember we watched like trampoline fails like the last week of school. Miss
That's
Brown's
so funny.
Miss Brown's math class, that was great. AP Euro with Mr. High and AP World with Mr. Keenis. And for the fifth, and then this is the 5th one. Yeah, forensics.
Yeah, we're in forensics right now.
Forensic files.
Second forensics
podcast.
podcast.
Second, part 2.
What about you guys?
I guess like content-wise, anatomy was really fun just because I learned a lot of new stuff. But as far as like enjoyability, it would either be like band or my physics class. Because my teacher was awesome. It was Mr. Milani.
Oh.
And man was like literally like doing like handstands. I was like,
That's
what is
hilarious.
wrong with you?
That's so
Taught
funny.
Caden how to read that one time.
I taught
Did you teach Caden how to
Caden,
read?
and apparently I just heard this from Caden and Connor, but apparently he he always used examples involving guns for like whatever he was talking about. So he'd be like, so say that you shot at a 135-degree angle, or like, and Caden was like, is he teaching us how to like shoot in class?
Shoot guns?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Favorite teachers? I'd have to say, yeah, I just have like a group. I'd say Mr. Flournoy was good.
Yeah.
Him, Joan, and Hunter, about him never doing his homework and talking about how he'd go down the dark path. That was hilarious. Miss Brown, I mean, I'm not just copying Elijah, but I love to.
We were both in the same class.
Yeah, we were in the same class, so I loved filming TikToks in there.
Stop by now.
What's up? That was so funny. And then like the last month of school, I got a bunch of these little prison mic photos of like Michael Scott.
Oh, God, I remember that.
And I stuck them all over her room.
I forgot
and so, like,
about that.
Every day, like you would see a new one in a random spot. Like there'd be one on like the outlet above the Promethean
Me and Carl
board.
would look for those every day.
Yeah.
We were like, where's the new one?
It was so fun. It was
I remember
so
we
good.
like some kid like put up like his worst grade up on like a quiz, and we got like a 30, and I got one as well, and then put it up there, and it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. That's hilarious.
So there's still like a 45.
And I printed the Beaupachons.
The Beaupachons.
The Beaupachons, and I signed it, and I went extra credit, right? And so I slid it into the turn-in drawer, and she lifted up the papers because she was getting the papers out of the drawer. She goes, she takes like a double take. She's like, what? What's this? And she pulls it out, and she goes and staples it to the back door, like the backboard.
I also taped one of my ID cards that went up there too.
Oh yeah, you taped it. You
Yeah.
taped it to one of her picture frames.
Yeah.
That was so funny. That was good.
Oh man. And then what other? And then all the hijinks we had in AP Euro with so and so not knowing what D-Day is. And then what else? Morgan in the printing press.
Oh yeah, Craig.
He mentioned the
Cannot
printing
let
press.
go of the printing
Like,
press.
he mentioned it once, like the first 9 weeks of school, and he can never hear the end of
Uh-huh.
it.
Why is he just like
it was
fascinated?
the wrong answer
No,
to
it was the
something.
wrong answer. He just made fun of him about it by
And
like the whole year.
Mr. High knows how to keep a.
Keep a joke going, except for
Yeah.
mass. He needs to. I'll remind him today about mass.
Oh, I don't know if we need to remind him about mass. I'm okay if we skip that one.
Mention his cowboy hat and his boots.
Yesterday. Did anyone else have AP Psych?
Nope.
Oh, dang. AP Psych,
Yeah.
great class. There were a lot of good classes, to be honest, throughout high school.
Clayton State Psych, bro.
Not
Oh,
a good class.
Really?
Yeah, she would.
Oh
So
my gosh.
basically, we do these discussion posts, and she would be like, "Okay, well, write one concept related to the text about this video." And so you'd write it, and you'd be like, "You know what? I think that's a pretty good answer." And she'd give you an 80, and just copy and paste what it said on the syllabus onto the thing, and you're like, what do you mean? Like, what else should I do? But and then it's all fun and games till you miss a quiz, and you're like freaking out. You're like, "Oh my gosh!
That's what I
oh
did.
my gosh!" Yeah, I missed a quiz too.
I missed a quiz in like 2 activities, and I had to fight for my grade to go over a 90, so I would get an A in the class.
Dang. Okay, so that's another question. Worst class?
French
Can I
1.
say?
French
Oh,
1.
I've heard a lot
If-
of bad things about French
If you've
1.
ever taken French 1, like they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's it's similar to Spanish. Like they have all kind of the same words." No, it's no. It's not. No, it's incorrect. French is the hardest class I took in high school. Even though I loved French 2, French 1, Garbo. Don't take French 1.
Garba.
I know my sister dropped out of French 1.
It was so bad.
For me, Gov, but I mean that's kind of self-explanatory. Just
You
Gov.
think everyone else just understands?
No, I
Then-
just. Yeah, they all understand. I'll bleep his name out. They all understand.
Well, yeah, and the thing about French 1 was that our teacher really loved one of the kids in our class, and so she would like pick a total favorite. So like you go up to ask her question, she'd be like, "Oh well, you were supposed to study that like the night before," and then if this kid comes up, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's this." Like that's what she would do. And so I sit there in the class, and I was like, what is happening? Like, I don't even know. She came up to us the second day and like tried to talk to us in French, and I was like, what is going on? Like, it was bad. I do not recommend taking French 1.
I guess my worst classes are, I'm just going to lump every single English class together. I literally despise English so much.
Wow.
I could never grasp what they wanted me to do, and it would just be a constant struggle.
Interesting.
I had a great time in my English. Well, I think one was just okay.
I remember English class with you getting me in trouble with...
Okay, so here's what happened. It was freshman year. We had a sub, and then we're both making inappropriate
Bro, you was
noise.
playing hentai on the... You was playing the noises, and I just looked at you and laughed, and I got in trouble.
No, you're making the noises too. You're going.
Okay, maybe a little bit.
You're making the hentai noises too.
Hey, I'm in here.
That's
And
hilarious.
so,
These girls got so frustrated.
and they snitched on us. And then, cause it was like a weekend before, it was like the day before, I went on a church weekend. And they called my house. Her about to leave. Our teacher called out.
Luckily.
Yeah. And she was like, yes, oh, he's a good kid. I don't know why he was doing this. Blah blah blah. And my mom was like, you're in big trouble when you get home.
Dang.
So love Miss Zachary. She's the best.
Yeah, she was pretty fun.
What is happening?
Well, I'd have to say though, the worst year I had for teachers was actually 7th grade. I had
really?
7B, which had literally
Ooh, yeah.
no
Nobody.
good teachers on that. It was like a bunch of mean old people that hated their life and school at the same time while they're trying to teach you about school. And I'm like, no, you know what? Not good.
I remember Coach King for math. Oh my gosh, she was brutal. She would yell at students.
Yeah, she would yell. She threw Ryan Foncannon underneath the desk and started punching him. We were all just like.
Because I was some tiny little stick kid, and I was like, please don't do that to me.
You had the microphone on and everything. Maybe it wasn't working.
I just remember chemistry sophomore year. Interesting class.
Oh yeah.
Awful
yeah.
teacher.
That's one of the worst, yeah.
We had Felipe. You've never
okay. Fontaine, right?
So no, we had Welch. So it was literally her first year teaching chemistry out of school, right? And we had her the last period of the day. Mm-hmm. So we would pull up, and Felipe sits in the back. This kid is like a child that has an everlasting tantrum 24 hours a day. He would sit there and he would complain. So Dr. Welch would come up and be like, okay guys, we're working on this worksheet, 5 problems on the worksheet, right? Guys, work on this worksheet. You guys don't have to turn it in today, it'd be Tuesday. And she'd be like, turn in by Friday, okay? I'm not trying to punish you guys. And this kid would sit there and stare at it and be like, no, I'm not doing it. He would just say, no, I'm not doing it. And he would sit there on his phone and Dr. Welch would come up and go, Felipe, why don't you try to do 1 or 2 of these problems? And he'd go, no, I'm not doing it. He would just say
literally
that.
fight with the teacher to not do work.
Oh my gosh.
We were like,
and I would always sit next to him. I'm like, Felipe, you gonna do your work? And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I was like, Felipe, I'll help you. I'll literally help you do these problems. And he was like, no, I'm not doing this. This is stupid. I'm not doing this.
I'm not doing it.
That's sophomore year?
Yeah,
that's
sophomore.
senior mentality.
And
Oh my
Miss Welch
gosh.
she would be so defeated.
Yeah, no, she would get so sad.
She'd just be like, Felipe, please.
Please do it. I know I
would
can't
feel so
make you
bad
do it.
because she would just.
He's tripping over there.
I think the music needs to go over that photo.
Mr. Holt Mr. Holt had ice in his veins. Sorry about that.
Ice in the sorry, yeah, really good. His ice in his veins. All right, so what else? All right. Yeah, I think my chemistry class was pretty bad too, but I had a great group though. It was me,
Yeah, that's
Cal,
the thing. I had a bunch of good
class.
people in my class.
Yeah.
But teacher kind of sucked.
Chemistry, it was me, Cal Bowles, Will Mason, Liam Wilson, Damien. Who else is in there? Luke. Oh, that's not his name. His name's Luke.
Luke Goffey?
The one with he was in percussion that one year and marching band.
Was he British?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, we had in our class, because it was a mix of sophomores and juniors. Mm-hmm. So it was me, Ben, Felipe, Abiola.
Yeah.
Elena, Catherine, and all of them were in there too. And then we had just these random juniors we didn't know where they came from. And so whenever there was a test, we would all sit in the back corner and literally just be like, what's the answer? What's the answer?
It was literally just Felipe what's this one? I'd be like, So I would literally just at
No,
one
that
point
class-
when I was done, I would finish before Felipe. I would switch papers and just do his, and then give it back and we'd turn it in.
And then I got
Interesting.
unlucky. I got displaced. I had to move all the way up to like the
Oh,
middle.
no.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't do this. I had like an 80 in the class. I was so bad. French and chemistry tanked my GPA. Like I would have such
Chemistry?
a high GPA.
Easily lowest grade of high school.
So bad.
It was pretty difficult.
I remember getting a 70 on the chemistry exam. I was like, yes!
I passed. I got like a 94 and it still didn't bring my grade up. And I was like, because I had like a 60
You're so
test
far gone.
average.
Yeah, you're so far
Like
gone.
I had a 60 test average. Like there's no way.
Cords, gentlemen.
It's our podcast.
Yeah.
It's a long lapel.
It's not mine. I mean, it's the school.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's from journal. I mean, I'm the EP of the podcast for the school, so I mean,
Okay.
like, I could use it.
Okay, that's cool.
You want to have a seat and talk about classes?
Sure.
We're talking about classes
We're
right
talking
now.
about
yeah.
our favorite, our
Welcome,
different high school memories,
ladies
I
and
guess.
gentlemen,
Oh, okay.
Welcome,
Oh,
Mr. Holt. Mr. Holt, say hello.
Hands on table? Is that what we're doing?
I guess so.
For sure.
I didn't know.
All right. What was your worst class in high school?
What do you mean worst class? Like, I just hated the teacher, I hated the students, hated the subject.
When you think I hate that, what happened?
Like,
in
just
like
pure
the class where you were
unenjoyability.
just
Yeah.
miserable. What?
Chemistry.
Oh,
It was, I didn't really, it wasn't chemistry itself that I did not like. It was the teacher who, she was one of those where I felt like she did a really good job, and then test time, you just saw a lot of stuff you never heard. Like, she just gave you those questions.
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah. So I may have cheated on a couple tests.
Oh.
Because I had to. I couldn't
That is
pass
how it
it
is sometimes.
It do
It do be like that.
Yeah.
It do.
Oh yeah.
Pressure. I mean, what's the? I forgot what I was about to say. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little rascal in 8th grade. You know what corn dogging is?
No. I think you're gonna need to explain
No.
this.
So it's when
but
you
yeah.
knee somebody in the butt really hard.
Okay.
And I kneed this kid in the butt so hard I broke his tailbone.
No.
I broke his tailbone.
You
and
should
it
have
was
drank
so
more milk,
bad.
man.
Who
was it?
I don't think I should say it for podcast reasons.
Okay.
I'll bleep his
But-
name out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
He still, I think he still goes here. Yeah,
He
I think-
does.
Yeah, he still goes here. And yeah, I broke his tailbone completely. Like I totally thought he was faking it. He was one of those kids that was kind of
Yeah.
over dramatic about everything. And so I'm like, dude, like, and he would play basketball. Like he literally played basketball with his broken tailbone. And then his mom called my mom and was like, yo, your son broke my son's tailbone. And my mom comes up to me and goes, Creighton, how'd you break this kid's tailbone? And I'm like, well,
you know what corn dog is?
I go, well,
I gave him a corn dog.
I'm glad you asked. Like, you know what corn dog is? Luckily, I got called into Miss Comer's office, and she was like, shouldn't be doing that. I only got detention
Oh,
for
man.
assault.
Literally breaking someone's
yeah.
For
bone.
literal battery.
Did you have
I
to
got
pay for it or
detention.
anything? No? Wow.
He had to send on a donut for 6 weeks.
Oh man.
So corn dogs and donuts.
Oh, dude, I got the worst. Well, this is embarrassing, but it happened to me though. So it was 8th grade. 8th grade was just crazy. So we were playing basketball at recess, and then the bell, like they say, okay guys, time to go in, and I get a rebound, and this kid just freaking, like, is running and then knocks me and lays me out. Like I lost my breath. Though. So I was like, you know, we get the wind knocked out of you. And so there's like 20 people just circled around. I'm on the ground and going. So, because the worst thing was that since the bell rang, like everyone was just walking towards, and we were like in front of the gate, so everyone was just walking towards us and see me just going on the ground.
Dang.
Like, dude, you okay? I'm like,
Couldn't even speak.
I couldn't even speak. Yeah, that's probably the most embarrassing moment of my school career.
Like, who remembers the dog on the recess field that
I
tackled
remember
that
that.
kid?
Yeah.
Tackled a
What?
kid. It was like a German Shepherd or something. Just ran onto the recess field, and all the kids were so scared. They were like, this dog's gonna kill someone. And the dog was just literally just having the time of its life, running around. And we all huddled up in a group, and all the teachers were like guarding us. And then he's running, and the dog just singles him out because he wasn't in the group with us, and he's just standing still. And it's like we're just watching the dog, just looking at him, and teachers are just like. don't move. And then he's just like, learns to sit up, and then he just legs it, and he starts sprinting, and the dog just jumps on him and crams his face into the ground.
Dang.
And then the dog got off him, and then it ran into the school, and they chased him through the school.
That's hilarious.
Dude, listen to your adults, man.
I don't remember that.
So funny. That's hilarious.
I remember.
I wish I knew that story earlier. So I could be like, dude, did you get crushed by a dog in 8th grade?
Do you remember in STEM when we were doing like the activities, like when we were in 8th grade, like we were doing like activities with the 6th graders to try and like get them to do
them
STEM?
to come in, yeah.
So we were doing this escape room and it was like Batman themed, and so I was supposed to be like the Riddler, and so I had a stick. I had a stick that had like a coat hanger on it that was supposed to look like a question mark, and it was like the first day of doing it, and like one of the kids said something stupid, and I was like, that's dumb. And then I hit him with the stick. I like hit him like on the butt with the stick. They like took me aside. Like Dr. Lehman was like, you can't hit the 6th graders with the stick. And I was like, I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah.
Second most embarrassing was the movie I made in 8th grade.
Oh, Elijah's basketball movie. Oh. It used to be on
worst.
YouTube, and he took it down because I texted him. I was
might
like,
have to
I
put
found
that
your
in the
movie on
podcast.
YouTube, and he was like,
You might have to be
"What
like, yeah,
movie?"
here's,
and it was gone.
Yeah, you might have to be like, yo, here's the movie. Here's the link in the description. You gotta go check it out.
Dude, I didn't even show it to my girlfriend at the time, bro. She was like, she wanted, because you mentioned it. It was you mentioned it. You brought it up when we were together somewhere. And like for like months, she was like, I want to see the movie. I'm like, no, you will never, ever see this movie. It was probably one of the fakest.
It was so funny.
The editing was okay for an 8th grader, but like it was. I get chills thinking about it now.
It did spawn the dipstick joke with Chance.
It did.
This is Chance. He's one of the dipsticks who didn't show up.
Yeah.
Which makes it worth it.
He still has that video on his phone.
He does? Chance has the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not the movie.
He has the video of you calling him a dipstick.
It's like, you didn't show up this weekend, you dipstick.
That's hilarious.
Man.
So funny.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think of other dumb stuff from throughout high school. I jumped off a golf cart in the parking lot. I thought I would. Josh Maurer was trying to steal my golf cart, and because we had stolen his. And Eli was driving, I was driving, and Eli was in the passenger seat. And I was like, "You take the wheel." And I thought I could run when I hit the ground. But I was going way too fast, and so I hit and I slid like all along the parking lot, and so like the side of my shorts were like black, like all the skin was gone. It was bad.
That jump about when you jumped the
I was literally just about to say that. We had just got, was it competition?
Yeah, we got back from competition.
We had just gotten done with the competition, and it was like pitch black out, and I parked my golf cart in the lower lot, and I parked it there, and everyone had to like walk to the band room, so it was like really good to have a golf cart because then you could take people.
Right.
And my windshield had like condensation on it, and I was like whatever, it's like literally a parking lot, like I'm not gonna like do anything. And so I just started driving, and I couldn't see, and then I just hear a teacher go, look out, and then my golf cart was doom, doom, and I was like, I just killed someone. I was like, I just killed someone. And then I get out and I jump the giant concrete divider in the lower lot with the street lamps on it, and I was like, my golf cart looks fine. And I started driving, and then all of a sudden,
are they stealing the car?
It's church parking lot.
At church?
At church.
Someone's out
That's low, guys.
So I was like, it's fine. And I started driving it, and then people was like, oh, Ben's got a golf cart, and like 8 people jump on my golf cart, and then I start driving, and I look. Like tire completely deflated, and I was like, guys, get off of my golf cart. And I parked it, and I destroyed the axle on it. Man! And I spent like an hour taking the tire off.
I remember we're all standing there on the other median, and we're watching him drive across the parking lot, and he just goes, boom, and he's like driving. He's like, "Oh my gosh!"
I was so scared. I had just killed someone. I was like, oh.
Wait, were you there when I fell off Renee's golf cart?
Yes.
Freshman year.
With the
chairs. It was freshman year after our first game. We had a Saturday practice the next day, and so Russ was like, "Hey, we're down the field. Hey, we're gonna go get chairs. You get to miss basic block." And I'm like, "Nice." So it was me. I think Adelaide was there. Maybe Liam too. Were any of you guys on that golf cart? Were you on the golf
I wasn't on the golf
I
cart,
wasn't
but I was
I think
behind
it was me, Liam, and Adelaide. And so we were holding onto the chairs, and so it was up in the golf cart parking lot where there's the turn, and you're like, okay, guys, we're gonna turn right here. And so there's like the car parking, and then the golf cart, and then this little turn up the side with all the side parking. And so then he's like, okay, guys. He's like, hold on, there's a sharp turn. And I'm like, okay. So then I hold on to the chair.
onto the chair.
And I fell off and like scraped my shit, dude. It was so bad. It hurt, dude. And then I was like, so I went up to the nurse. I was like, hey, do you have like a really big Band-Aid and show her my bleeding arm? And she was like, no. And she like went to like Angry Bird gauze on it. That was it.
Angry Bird.
And then like the sweat got in it. It was terrible.
Speaking of falling off golf carts, we were driving. We had this big old uniform rack with all the uniforms on it, and they're like, guys, these can't get dirty. Like, we're gonna do a show tonight. And so it's me, Liam, and Abby's younger sister. She's like 5 years old, like sitting in the passenger seat, and Liam's on the back, and he's holding the uniform rack like this. And I'm like, Liam, there's a speed bump. And he goes, yeah, I got it. And the uniform rack hits him in the face. Like, he leans forward and hits him in the face. And he falls off, and the uniforms all fall over. And so me and Abby's little sister go, oh! And so I scramble to pick it up. I'm like, yo, you have to pick these up. And she's holding like 3 of them. She's like, trying to hold them up. And I'm like, and Liam's sitting there holding his face, and I'm like, he's like holding his face on the ground. I'm like, Liam, get up, we got to pick these up. And he's like, it just hit me in the face, you asshole. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was so bad, but it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
All right, new question. What's the worst meltdown you've seen at school? If you've seen a meltdown. Or had somebody like this.
You haven't seen a meltdown, Mr. Holt?
I can go back pretty far to 3rd grade in
Indiana.
Yes, in Indiana. We used to have tornado warnings all the time because there would just be tornadoes like frequently. And there was this one day with tornado warning, so we all go into like the part of the school where we're supposed to be to hide from the tornado or whatever. And this girl is like losing it. Like she's like, I'm never gonna see my parents again. Like she thought she was gonna die, and she was like bawling, like fit like on the floor, like, and like there's like 3 teachers trying to like calm her down and restrain her because she's like throwing like punches in the air. It was insane, and I remember sitting there like 3rd grade Austin. I was like, why are you like this? Like, calm down. Like, this literally happened like last week too. This is Indiana. There's tornadoes like all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, calm down.
When I was in middle school, there was this like really short. I think he was legitimately a transfer from some like Asian country, but he had this really bad like anger issue, and it was he loved to kick shins. That's all he did. And one day the teacher took away his like iPad or something for playing on it, and he literally walked around to 6 kids and just started kicking their shins. And he kicked me in the shin. I was like, dude, I literally don't even know you.
I didn't take your iPad.
I didn't take your iPad.
And then another time in some science class, I forgot, it was Jeremiah said to Bryson, he was like, your eyebrows look like our forefathers. It wasn't even something that bad. And he literally like in his hands started screaming, and he started crying, and he started kicking the cabinets, and the teacher was like, get out of my class right now.
Oh my
and he
God.
stepped out in the hallway, and he didn't come back.
Golly.
Oh man.
Do you remember in 5th grade when Ayumu punched me in the face?
Yeah.
What?
So we were.
Wait,
they were
what's that
playing
name?
Ayumu.
Ayumu?
He was from I think Japan.
Yeah, Japan.
And there was one day we were playing like soccer or something, and Ayumu didn't know the rules, right? So he did something that was like against the rules, and they were like foul or whatever, and he was like, what are you talking about? And said, I don't know if that's how they do it in your country, but we don't do that here. But he thought I said it.
Like that. Well, I'll leave his name out.
Yeah, you just leave it, right? But so he thought I said it. So he turned to me and like hard punch like side of the face, and I was like, what did I do? And then that ended up becoming a whole different issue because of what he said. But yeah.
I have a new question.
Right.
What is the first memory you ever like remember? Like, what was your first memory you ever remember?
I got one.
Like that you can physically remember, like, oh, like when I was 3 years old, like I did this.
I think I can go back to about that far. I was 3. I remember I was on the beach and I was sitting down in a chair. I had collected some seashells, one in particular, like pretty large. I was very proud of it. And one of my cousins was staying with us at the time, like a big family ordeal. And she just came over and was like grabbing it, like, because she was searching for seashells too. And I was like, no! I was like flipping out, you know. But being 3, I can't even remember. Like, I don't even know how I remember that so long ago. I do remember preschool stuff, but it's like a couple of memories from
That's
there
crazy.
too.
Mine is it's gonna sound pretty cheesy. Mine's at meeting Mason. We were
Aww.
yeah, because we were preschool buddies, and that's where I met him. And yeah, I remember just playing with stuff on the floor, you know, in preschool. Yeah, that's my first big one. But like one really huge one when like my birthday. I hate puppet shows. Like I hated puppet shows back then. Like despised.
Terrified of them.
I was terrified of them. And so what we do on my birthday, I went to see a puppet show, and I'm like, really? Like, come on. But it was actually a good one. It was called Duke Ellington's Cat, and it was about Duke Ellington's cat. Yeah, and he was a jazz playing piano, like a jazz playing
Piano cat.
And then we went to we rode Marta and went bowling and went to the King House. That's where we went. That was like my first big memory of like I was like
of existence.
I don't know how you're gonna get in the building. Yeah. I mean, we can leave here in just a few minutes.
Okay, I'll wait.
That way you have more time. Like, you'll still have time before you gotta go to lunch.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, classic memory.
I think my earliest memory was actually 3 years old, and I remember it because of what I said. But I think
like just a few more minutes.
I think this was
Just
genuinely the moment I gained consciousness as a child, because it was like my first like full-on sassy comment. Because my teacher, not my teacher, my sister, she was like obviously just like beating up on me because I'm a little kid, and she grabs my hair and like tugs it, and then my mom grabs it. She's like, "Don't do that. He's only 3." And then I just turned around and I go, "Yeah, I'm only 3." I was like, "I'm only 3."
How tall are you back then? Like 5'10"?
Yeah.
Dude, my earliest memory, this is so whack. It was when I lived in Illinois.
Hey.
And I went over to my friend Max's house. I don't even remember how I remember his name. But so we're in his backyard, and he has all these little concrete squares. They're like stepping stones. But every one has a different bug on it. And so there's this one where these ants are going in like an oval, like in a circle. And I'm like, that looks pretty fun. And I remember Max telling me, he goes, "Creighton, don't touch the fire ants. Like, they're fire ants. Don't touch them." And I remember taking one of those little blue shovels, and I was like, there's no way they can crawl up the thing fast enough. Like, I'll and so, like, as they're going, I'm like slowly putting this shovel down to like interrupt their path. And I as soon as I put my shovel down, they all run up the shovel and start biting me. And I'm like, I'm screaming. And I remember his mom, like, she like took a hose because we were like in like swimsuits and stuff, and she just like sprayed me with water with the hose. Yeah, that's my earliest memory that I can remember.
Let's wrap up real quick. So what are you most looking forward to for college? In college, I'll go first. Probably just meeting new people. I mean, I've grown up with you guys, known everybody. I think it's time to meet new people. I met a few people, group chats and group me and events. Get that off my laptop, little bug. Just through group chats and group me and everything. I'm really excited about that. So meet new people and get new experiences. What about you?
I'd have to agree.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because it was just like all new people. Like I've never seen these people at college.
All right, that's it.
All right, thank you.
See
Bye-bye.
y'all.
All right,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.